Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome to another Cardano video. And it looks good. We're not quite there yet, but it looks good. And I've been watching a lot of altcoins lately. And I know that soon alt season will start. Well, alt season for everything else besides meme coins, because meme coins are already through the roof. That said, we got a couple of levels up here, as you see from the previous videos over here. These are all major levels of resistance that we need to break. I mean, those are interesting levels, but we are not quite there yet. So in this video, we're gonna just focus on this part over here on the downside and what's actually happening down here. So what we want to actually do over here, this is on the monthly time frame, but we're gonna probably do it a little bit faster. We want to break this towards the upside. The question is how, when, and what's gonna happen next. So let's zoom in here a little bit on the weekly time frame to see this line very much nicer. So this line up here is very interesting because this is actually a channel that goes towards upside, and but this is a resistance level that needs to be broken, and right now we are actually sitting on that below that resistance level, and we need to break towards upside, and it looks good, guys. I gotta tell you, it looks good. Now, not only that, there is a line down here that goes something like this. It's a support level down here. So we are, not only are we going inside this channel towards upside, but right now we are pushing this channel inside what we call a rising wedge towards upside. Now, in any kind of bear market, it is important to know that rising wedges are a bearish pattern. We know that, but on this channel, we understand that we are in the bull market, and in the bull market, any kind of pattern, regardless whether that's a bullish or bearish pattern, it breaks towards upside. So it's pretty easy to figure out where the price is gonna go. That said, this candle also up here, it looks like a bearish candle. This is what we call a doji with a big wick on the downside over here. This is usually some kind of bearish candles, some kind of, doji at the top is always bearish. And, these things usually pull back all the way towards the downside over here. Now, again, we are not in the bear market, we are in the bull market, so we turn this up towards upside. You might not believe me right now, but in a week's time, give or take, you're gonna believe me. That said, this does in fact look very, very good. And when you actually break this towards upside, you're gonna do actually several things that are extremely bullish. Number one, there is this channel over here that goes something like this over here. There is this channel that's breaking towards upside. And this is a rising channel breaking towards upside, which is actually very bullish because rising channels are actually very bearish. And this channel, once it breaks towards upside, that's bullish. That's the first thing. The second thing that's very bullish, this is ascending wedge towards upside. Ascending wedges break towards downside most of the time, but in bull runs or bullish markets, they tend to break towards upside. So breaking this towards upside, it's also very, very bullish. And the third thing is this, this big wick on the downside over here with a doji at the top. Once you actually invalidate that towards the upside over here, you are increasing bullishness. So you're gonna do you're gonna take three bearish signs, and we're gonna turn that around and make a bullish statement right through that resistance level, and it's gonna pop so hard. So we are right now sitting, we are not yet out of this resistance level towards upside just yet. So today's Friday, so we got 2 more days left to break this towards upside, but we are getting very, very close. I'm guessing next week we're gonna see some kind of rise over here, maybe even during the weekend. I don't know, maybe this candle is gonna end above the resistance during the weekend. But we're gonna see some kind of rise either during the weekend or next week above the resistance level over here, and it's gonna slowly start climbing towards upside here. There is also a level over here that needs to be broken, and once that's broken, we're gonna start pumping big time. So let's go and zoom in a little bit more on the daily time frame over here. What you're gonna see over here, that we had a big dump over here towards downside. This wasn't just Cardano. I mean, this was literally everything. This dumped 27% pullback towards downside. This is when Bitcoin hit 69K, and everybody paper-handed Bitcoin started selling. So there was a lot of flush happening, people are in fear and stuff like that. We did a live stream over here on this channel telling people, don't panic, buy the dip. And of course it pulled back. Now the pullback up here right now, it's not above where it actually was over here to start, so we still need to wait a little bit for that bullish sentiment to kick in over here. Right now it's pulling even a little bit back towards downside, but it will eventually break towards upside. The most important thing over here, and I've been looking at, we won't go into too much into that, but I've been looking at the indicators down here. Everything looks nice and dandy. There is actually no problem with anything over here. And the momentum going up, RSI is looking fine. Everything looks fine when it comes to indicators. So we won't talk too much about that because, that kind of oftentimes, you know, just get people very, very confused. So we're just gonna look at lines, right? We're gonna look at lines. Now, let's go back to the weekly time frame and see this bottom line down here. This is actually a trend line over here. It goes something like this over here, give or take. So we over here technically we have actually two trends over here. It might be over here, it might be down here, it doesn't matter. Let's put it over here. We technically have two trends. So this is the first trend towards the upside, where it went down, started switching the trend, and right now we're going this direction over here. But right now, after this bottom down here, right now we are actually climbing in this trend over here. So once we actually start breaking up here, there won't actually come any kind of big moves, but there will come, you know, zigzag patterns up here towards the upside. And at one point, this other trend will actually break. This is when actually the huge moves are going to start happening. It could just happen that we just blast through everything over here and just continue towards the upside. I think that's a little bit unlikely, but this channel over here that goes right now like this over here, I think the first the level of resistance will come out, you know, get broken up here, consolidation, you know, while we hug the resistance level, and then break into the blue box and towards the upside. So there's a little bit more time. I'm a little bit unsure again whether that's going to happen this weekend or next week, but it's going to be very, very soon. And the reason I'm saying it's going to be very, very soon is because the entire crypto market is very heated right now. Some altcoins, a lot of altcoins are already breaking some major levels of resistance, and they are already going or getting ready very, very close like this over here. And it is really hard to see it any other way that, you know, we're gonna break this towards upside. Not only that, like indicators are also showing me right now that everything is fine and dandy. So I'm very, very bullish. I think it's gonna take, you know, give or take, you know, from a couple of days to a week's time until we start breaking this towards upside, and then it's all the way, you know, into the blue box, above the blue box, and, you know, the really, really big moves. Because right now we are not actually seeing big moves on Cardano. Over here, this move over here was at most, you know, 33%. Sorry, this is weekly time frame. On the daily time frame, we had a couple of big moves up here. We had, you know, this, you know, pullback up here was 26%, but that was kind of expected. The biggest move was like something like 10% over here, you know, way back down up here, it was like 15%. But I think we're going to see something like, you know, 20-30%, like, you know, these meme coins are pumping as soon as we start getting out of this blue box towards upside. But, you know, until we get there, it's going to be a slow, painful move towards upside. But once we start getting over here outside the blue box, it's going to be the big moves. So, you know, the big moves, you know, take a little while until you get, you know, ready for that, but eventually they do come. So we're going to do an update once Cardano actually starts doing something more interesting than sitting below the support line. Resistance level. Guys, below in the comments, there are two links. We got a TA Fans Club community over here. We do Bitcoin, you know, live streams, but we also do altcoin videos over here. We got a members only videos, TA Fans Club. If you want to check that, we talk about a lot of altcoins, which altcoins are good, which altcoins are bad, you know, what's gonna pump, what's not gonna pump, and stuff like that. So if you want to be part of the TA Fans Club community, check that out. We also got a public Telegram channel. Everybody is welcome to join that one, because I want that to fill up really, really nicely. Because last time in the previous bull market, we had like, you know, 2,000-3,000 members in there. It was wild. It was wild. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you around. Have a nice day. Bye bye.